Hello everyone, hope you all are doing very well. Welcome to my YouTube channel Accounting Knowledge. This channel gives the viewer information about account, tax and other commerce subjects. So in this video lecture, we are going to learn about business economic of TY BCom as per the semester 5th. As you all know, the syllabus of TY BCom has changed from 2018 and 19. So we are going to learn the business economics syllabus of 2018 and 19 of Mumbai University. So let's move forward in the next slide. First we have to discuss about the syllabus of TY BCom as per the academic year 2018 and 19 of Mumbai University. Clear? So first we have to discuss about the module 1. So in that syllabus there are total 4 modules. First module, the name of the first module is Macroeconomic Overview of India. In this first chapter is New Economic Policy 1991. Second chapter is Social Infrastructure Education, Health and Family Welfare in India. Third chapter is Sustainable Development Goal and Policy Measures. Fourth one will be Foreign Investment in India. Okay. Next, the second module is Agriculture during post-reform periods. So, in the second module, the whole chapter is related to agriculture. Okay. Chapter number 5, National Agriculture Policy of 2000. Then Agriculture Pricing. Then Agriculture Finance. And the last one is the Agriculture Marketing. Third module is the industries and service sector during post-reform periods. Okay. In that there are total 5 chapters. Okay. So the first one is a overview of industrial sectors. Competition Act 2000. Chapter number 10, Disinvestment Policy. Chapter number 11, MSME sector. 12, Industrial Pollution in India. And 13 will be service sector, that is a new trends in health and tourism industries. And the last module is module 4, that is banking and finance market. In this, the 14th chapter is a banking, 15 is a insurance industry, 16 is a money market and 17 is a capital market. So this is the syllabus of business economic of TY BCom as per the new academic year, as per the academic year 2018 and 19. Okay. So that is a syllabus, and in this video lecture we are going to learn about this syllabus only. Okay. So let's move forward. In the next slide we are going to discuss about the paper pattern of Mumbai University of TY BCom. Okay. So what is the paper pattern? Okay, the paper pattern is, in that 100 marks question will be going to ask. In that the whole paper set is divided into 6 parts, means total 6 questions is there, and the all questions are compulsory and carry 15 marks each. So first we have to see question number 1. In that question number 1, A part will be, that is a sub question to be asked 12 and you have to be answer any 10, and the question number 1 is a objective. So question number 1A is also objective and question number B is also objective. Okay. From that objective, total 12 objective will be given and you have to select 10, any 10. In that objective, many option will be there. The paper setter can be asked MCQ, the paper setter can be asked true or false, match the column and fill in the blanks. So from all these 4, any 2 objective the paper setter can be asked. Okay. For example, if in a question number 1 the paper setter has given a MCQ, so in the question number 1B the paper setter will give true or false. Understood? Or the MCQ and match the pair, means any 2 objective they can give. What you have to do, you have to attempt any 10 from or out of any 12 objective. Clear? And the question number 1 will be carry 20 marks. Question number 1 will carry 20 marks. After then question number 2, it will be full length question. It's mean theory questions. Here question number 2 can be 15 marks or it can be divided into 7 or 8 marks. It means that question number 2 will be A will be 8 marks and B will be 7 marks. And in that again the option will be there. Question number 2, C will be 8 marks and D will be 7 marks. So student, you have to select either A and B or C and D. Okay. Next, move forward question number 3. So question number 2, question number 3, question number 4 and question number 5 will be same. Okay student. Okay, so again I am repeating, question number 1 will be objective. In the question number 2, 3, 4 and 5 will be a long answer, and that long answer can be divided into 7, 8 marks or it can be full 15 marks question. The paper setter can be asked. Next, and the last one is a question number 6, that is little bit change. In the question number 6, 2 question will be given. A will be 10 marks and B will also 10 marks. Okay, then full long questions will be given. And in that question number 6, option also given, or that is a short notes. So from that short notes, total 6 short notes can be given and you have to answer any 4 short notes. Clear? So here the full length question of 50 marks may be divided into sub part, which I already explained. Okay, that can be divided in 7, 8 marks or that can be divided in 10 or 5 marks. So that is the paper pattern of the Mumbai University as per the academic year 2018 and 19. Okay, so this paper pattern has followed 2018 and 19 and 20. Now the academic year is going to be started, that is 2020 and 21. So as you all are know, because of the COVID-19, the students will get a very less time to study. So might be the Mumbai University can change the paper pattern because the students are not getting enough time to the study. And even the teachers are also not getting enough time to complete the syllabus. So as per the 2020 and 21, this syllabus can be, this paper pattern can be changed. Syllabus will be the same, but the paper pattern can be changed. Understood? So in the first slide I have explained what are the syllabus. In the second slide I explained what is the paper pattern of Mumbai University of TY BCom Business Economics subject. So students, today we are going to learn the first chapter of Business Economics, which I already explained in the syllabus. In the syllabus, our first module is what? Our first module is Macroeconomic Overview of India. In that, the first chapter will be, that is Business Economic Policy 1991. So in this slide, we are going to learn about Business Economic Policy 1991. Okay, that is the chapter 1. So before moving further, I wanted to ask you that what is economic policy? Okay, what is economic policy? Then we will going to learn what is economic policy before 1991 and what is economic policy after 1991. So first, what is economic policy? The economic policy refers to government policy. The economic policy refers to the government policy which include fiscal policy and monetary policy. Clear? Any policy which is declared by the government of any country. Okay? Any policy which is declared by the government of any country, which include the fiscal policy as well as the monetary policy, or which include the different policy to run the country, that all policy comes under the economic policy. Understood? So let's discuss what is fiscal policy and what is monetary policy. What is fiscal policy? As you all are know, the fiscal policy is, it is related to government revenue and government expenditure. What is fiscal policy? Fiscal policy refers to government revenue and government expenditure. Okay. So first we will discuss about the government revenue. From where the governments are collecting revenue? You all are know very well. The governments are collecting revenue from the taxpayer, and the tax is one of the biggest source of the revenue for the government. They also collecting revenue from different sources like license fees, registration fees, okay, penalties. So there's that all amount the government are collecting in form of revenue, okay. So that all things is called the revenue of the government. Next one is a government expenditure. What the government do? From that revenue, the government do expenditure in the different fields. For example, they do expenditure in a infrastructure, they do expenditure in a education, in a health, okay. So that all is called government expenditure. Understood? So what is fiscal policy? Fiscal policy is a such type of policy when the government launch their revenue, as well as they explain their expenditure, that all things comes under the fiscal policy. Clear? Let's move forward about the monetary policy. What is monetary policy? So let me explain you about the monetary policy. The monetary policy is always declared by the central bank of any country. It means that the authority to decide or to declare the monetary policy is the central bank of any country. And you know very well, the Central Bank of India is RBI. So to declare the monetary policy, only RBI have the authority to declare the monetary policy. Now what is monetary policy? Monetary policy is a such type of policy which try to control the money supply in the country. What is monetary policy? Monetary policy is a such type of policy which try to control the money supply in the country. Okay. How they try to control the money supply in the country? By launching different monetary instrument. And you all are know what are the different monetary instrument? The monetary instrument is that CRR, that is a cash reserve ratio, SLR, statutory liquidity ratio, after then interest rate, bank rate, discount rate, that all comes under the monetary policy. Understood? So we are discussing about the what is economic policy. What is economic policy? The economic policy refers to the fiscal and the government policy. And what is the fiscal policy? The government revenue and the government expenditure is called the fiscal policy. And what is monetary policy? It is a such type of policy which try to control the money supply in a country, which is always decided by the Central Bank of any India. Okay. So let's move forward in the next slide. Now we are going to learn economic before 1991. Okay. So economic before 1991. How was our economic before 1991? Okay. Our economic before 1991 is a mixed economic. Okay. Now what is mixed economic? Mixed economic is a such type of economic where there is a role of private sector as well as a government sector. Okay. But the role of government sector means the role of public sector is more than the private sector. Okay. The mixed economic is a such type of economic where the private sector does not have much more freedom on their business. Okay. They have to take permission from the public sectors. Okay. And there is a rule of public sector on all the resources of India. Okay. So before 1991 our economic is like that. That is how much resources was there, that whole resources comes under the control of public sector. Clear? So here you can see what is mixed economic. Mixed economic is a such type of economic where the government control over the use of resources by the private sector. Okay, where the government control over the use of resources means प्राइवेट सेक्टर्स में जो भी रहता था, लाइक प्राइवेट सेक्टर के शेयर्स हो गए, प्राइवेट सेक्टर्स के एम्प्लॉयज हो गए, ये सबके ऊपर किसका कंट्रोल होता था? गवर्नमेंट का कंट्रोल होता था. ओके, बिफोर 1991 के पहले हमारा इकोनॉमिक कैसा था? जो भी सेक्टर्स था दैट ऑल सेक्टर्स इज रन बाय द गवर्नमेंट ओनली. Okay, there is a no freedom to the private sector. Okay, the shares of the private sector is totally controlled by the government of India. Clear? So that is the mixed economic. Okay. From what resources the government is control? The government is control on the industrial license. Okay. Then import license, foreign exchange regulation, control over banking and capital market. So in these resources, the government have full control and the government have full rules on this type of resources. Okay. So that is called the mixed economic. Now we have to see economic after 1991. How was our economic after 1991? The economic after 1991 is called the open economic. Okay, what it is called? It is called the open economic. Now you will say, what is open economic? Now, when our economic has become open, it's mean that now there is a freedom to the private sector. Okay, there is a freedom to the private sector in matter of a license, in matter of a registration, okay, in matter of shares, okay, in all that field there is a total freedom of the private sector. Okay, so that is called the open economic. It's mean that after 1991 and from the 1991 our India's economies has become a liberal. Okay, from 1991 only, that is one reform has take place, that is called LPG. That is called LPG, means liberalization, privatization and globalization. Okay, so our economic after 1991 has become open. The government has launched, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization scheme, where all the private sector has given a freedom to do their business in the country. The government does not have much more control on the private sector. Okay, a lot of business has opened. Okay, the businessman can do easily import and export from the another country. That is called the liberalization. There is no any restriction about the import duties, custom duty. Okay, that all restriction has reduced and easily the private sector or the businessman can do such type of business in the country after 1991. Globalization, the Indian company can become a global, can become a MNC company, okay, after 1991. So that all restriction has removed. Okay, that all restriction has removed from 1991. So that is only called the new economic policy of India, or it is also called the new economic reforms of India. So here you can see, so there is a lot of problem in a mixed economic. So to reduce this all problem or to overcome with all problem, the government has taken new reforms. Okay, so here you can see, because of all these mixed economic problem in 1980s, the government had begun to bring in some measures of liberalization of the economic from government control. Okay, so in the 1980s the government tried to liberalize their business, but what happened again? But these measures were small steps and they did not make any significant difference to the way of economic function. But only liberalization is not the solution. So what the government do? So in the year 1991, liberalization, privatization and globalization reforms took place. These reforms are generally refers to as new economic reforms or new economic policy 1991. So in this chapter we are going to learn in detail about new economic policy 1991. Okay, so let's move forward in the next slide. In the next slides we have to see the rationale of new economic policy 1991. So it's mean that reason of implementation, why we have adopt the new economic policy 1991 or why the changes has take place after the 1991. ऐसा क्या हुआ था कि जिसके वजह से हमारे इकोनॉमिक में काफ़ी ज़्यादा चेंजेस आया आफ्टर 1991 और काफ़ी ज़्यादा रिफॉर्म्स और काफ़ी ज़्यादा रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन एंड पॉलिसी फ्रेम किया गया फ्रॉम द 1991. सो व्हाट इज रीज़न बिहाइंड दैट वी हैव टू सी. The first reason is a financial crisis. What happened? Before 1991, our economic is in a fiscal crisis, and right now only I explain what is fiscal policy. What is fiscal policy? It is related to government revenue and government expenditure. Okay, fiscal crisis means what? When the government revenue is less than the government expenditure, that is called the fiscal crisis or that is called the fiscal deficit. जब क्या हो गया, गवर्नमेंट का रेवेन्यू कम हो गया और गवर्नमेंट का एक्सपेंडिचर ज़्यादा हो गया. तो बिफोर 1991 क्या हुआ था, द गवर्नमेंट हैव अ लॉट ऑफ expenditure. Okay, the expenditure is more than the revenue. It's mean that the tax collection is a very less, but for example the government are collecting tax from the public of rupees 100 crore, but they are doing expenditure of 200 crore. So it's mean that the expenditure is the greater than the revenue. So in that situation our policy or our economic will be in a crisis. So that is called the fiscal deficit or that is called a fiscal crisis. Clear what I said? Next point is that increase in non-development expenditure such as interest payment, defense expenditure, subsidies. Okay, actually what the government have to do, they have to do expenditure in the field of infrastructure, education, health. Okay, in that field they have to do the expenditure. But before 1991 what the government do, they are doing expenditure more on interest payment, defense expenditure and subsidies, because at that time we should have a strong country. ओके, हर एक कंट्री को क्या चाहिए था, स्ट्रॉन्ग कंट्री बनना चाहिए था, बिकॉज एट दैट टाइम अ लॉट ऑफ वॉर्स हैज टेक प्लेस. सो वो चीज को कम करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट क्या करते थे, दे इन्वेस्ट और दे डू एक्सपेंडिचर मोर ऑन देयर वेपन्स, मोर ऑन देयर इक्विपमेंट्स, ये सब पे ज्यादा एक्सपेंडिचर करते थे अदर देन डेवलपमेंट. ओके, सो दैट ऑल इज अ नॉन डेवलपमेंट एक्सपेंडिचर. दे डू मच expenditure on interest payment. It's mean that government took a lot of loan from the another country and they have to pay the interest. तो वहाँ पे expenditure ज़्यादा होता. तो that means they are not doing expenditure in a development factor, but they are doing expenditure in a non-development factor. Clear? Third point is fiscal deficit increase. Okay, so before 1991 क्या हुआ था, our fiscal deficit has increased and that has increased to 7.7% of our total GDP. Okay, so that all problem has took place before 1991. So that all problems comes under the fiscal crisis. So before 1991 India is in a fiscal crisis. So that is the reason to implement or to take lot of reforms and lot of changes in 1991 or after 1991. There is one more reason, and the second reason is that increase of government burden, that is a debt. Government, right now I explained, the government took a lot of loan from the another country. So because of that the interest payment and the loan and the debt amount has increased. Second point is that balance of payment crisis. Okay, so in the country there is a balance of payment crisis also before 1991. Okay, so because of that the government has to take the reforms and the government have to implement the new economic policy. Now here the balance of payment crisis, and you know what is balance of payment. Okay, what is balance of payment? The balance of payment is a government or is a country's receipt and country's payment. Okay, it is a amount of country receipts and country's payment. Okay, in that a lot of things has include like balance of trade, current account and capital account. These all things the country have to manage. Okay, if the receipt side is less than the payment sides, so what happen, our balance of payment will be in a unfavorable. Understood what I said? Our balance of payment will be unfavorable. So every country have to maintain their balance of payment in a favorable manner. So how it will become a favorable? means when our receipt will be higher than the payment, when country's receipt will be higher than the payment, then our balance of payment will be favorable balance of payment. But before 1991 our balance of payment is unfavorable. So because of that problem also, and because of that crisis also, the country have to implement the new economic policy. Now here you can see balance of payment crisis has take place because of, that is, receipt and expenditure, because the receipt is less than the expenditure. Balance of payment crisis has take place because decrease foreign exchange reserve. Okay, the foreign exchange reserve of a country is less. It means that the gold and the that is a dollar, that all the country does not have much, they have very less foreign exchange reserve. So because of that also the balance of payment crisis has take place. Next one, current and capital account deficit. So the current and capital account deficits was very less, understood, and the current and capital account deficits, current account and capital account deficits, deficits matlab the current receipt and the capital receipt is less than the current payment and capital payment. Next, unfavorable balance of payment, this also I explained. Next one, unable to manage the balance, default in payment and unable to manage the payment. So because of this all reason, the balance of crisis has take place. Okay, the third point is a high inflationary pressure. So because of that also the government have to implement the new economic policy, that is a 1991. So here you can see the high inflationary pressure because of increase of inflation rate of 10.2% in 90 and 91. So what happened in the year 90 and 91, the inflation rate was very high and it is up to 10.2% of our total GDP. Clear? And because of that is also one of the biggest reason that the government has to be implement a new economic policy, that is a 1991. And second point is increase of petroleum product. Okay, so what happened, the petroleum product also increase. Okay, the price of the petroleum product is also increased. For example, oil, gas. Okay, this all price has increased before 1991. Increase of indirect tax on government. Okay, what happened, the before 1991 the inflation rate was very high, and because of that the prices of all goods and services are also high. If the prices of goods and services are also high, then the public have to pay the more tax on goods and services. So that is also one of the reason to implement the new economic policy 1991. Clear? So in this slide we learn why the government want to implement new economic policy and what is the reason behind that the new economic has took place. Or you also can write down what are the objectives of new economic. So what are the objectives? The first objective is that to reduce the fiscal crisis. Okay, to reduce the fiscal crisis the government have to implement the new economic policy. To reduce the balance of payment crisis the government have to implement the new economic policy. And to reduce the inflation rate. Okay, to reduce the inflation rate, because of that also the government have to launch the new economic policy. Understood? So in this lecture we have learned the objective of new economic policy, what is economic policy, what is fiscal policy, and what is monetary policy. So hope you like my lecture. If you want to watch continue lecture of business economic of TY BCom semester 5 of the Mumbai University, please watch my video. I will in the next time I will bring other video of the same topic. In that if you will watch my video you can complete your syllabus, business economic syllabus, in this online mode also. There is in this online mode. So my request is that please watch my video, subscribe my channel if you like, subscribe my channel, and please press the bell icon also. This will help you to give more lectures on that. Thank you.